Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's about time we start working on pulling the motor. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the other episodes leading up to this. We've been doing a lot of work trying to get the interior sorted. As you can see, we do have the power windows working, and I was able to get those installed with new motors. You may have seen my YouTube short, and I got all the tracks all greased up, so we got great up and down. Brand new motors in each one of these. Had to drill out holes to install the motors, and then I had to buy a new switch to make sure everything works. So as you can see, nice and easy up and down, so that is cool. So that's one great progress. And then the other thing that came in as well too is we got some new floor pans from Summit Racing. This one here is for the passenger side rear. As you guys recall, some Swiss cheese going on there. And we also got, this is from Sherman, I guess Metalworks, and they've got a pretty good pan. And then I've got two other pans as well too that came in from Auto Metal Direct. They seem like more premium, and they're wrapped in bubble wrap and black and everything. So both of these two fit the rear, and as you can see looking through the floor there, our Swiss cheese that we're gonna have to replace as well too. So that project is gonna be on the horizon. We'll probably do some work back and forth off of the motor pull, and then work on the sheet metal for the back. And I do have, from work I did on my 71 Cutlass, a gasless welder. I'm not convinced I want to keep it or use it just yet, but I might try a little bit of work. I'm almost kind of thinking about stepping up to the gas model and getting something a little bit nicer, so it's not such a big thing. But it is floor pans, so I don't know. Give me some comments below if you think otherwise. And then we also got a goodie bag from our friends at Super Clean. So we're going to use some of the Super Clean products on the motor pull when we get the engine pulled out, because I know there's going to be tons of stuff to clean. So I'm starting to line up the hoist. This hoist that I bought from a guy here in Huntington Beach actually had this really cool hood lift attachment. So I've never used one of these. I've always just taken the hood off, but it came with the lift, so I'm trying to kind of like rig it up and give it a try, and it seems to be doing the thing here. You just kind of get things situated with each one of these, and then you can unbolt, and as you can imagine, this whole thing's just going to flip up and, you know, rest on this, and it's got some rubber rails on it to protect, like some half pieces of hose. I almost wonder, yeah, that probably came with the kit. He got that off Amazon, and he was using it to pull a hood off a 73 Camaro, and he did a similar job where he pulled the motor out. So I did pull the plate off the front because I didn't want to mangle up the original California plate. And yeah, so I think what we'll try to do is get the hood off. That'll give us a lot more light up above, down onto the Firebird. I took all the interior stuff too, and I stuffed it up in the attic to get it out of the way, just to get some room in the garage. And as you guys can see, I put the Camaro out in the driveway. So, and with this epoxy floor, I'm hoping it'll be easy cleanup when we start taking out the motor. And of course, there's going to be all kinds of mess, as there always is when you start getting into that. So let's start taking that hood off. You guys saw it, pretty precarious with the contraption here. I was getting kind of nervous with the thing too, because this thing's just got a kind of a friction fit onto the thing. But then the other problem I was running into is that these two tentacles didn't reach down enough without having to be straight. So if you tried to spread them out, it didn't have enough reach. So what I had to do, as you guys saw, is like bring them together to get at least one of them solid. And that seemed to work, but it was quite of a balancing act taking the thing. And then I had, of course, had my wife help, you know, carry it off as well too, because I was on the wrong business side of this to be able to release the tension on the piston. So, but now we got the motor fully exposed here, which is great because we're going to need the extra light in here as well. And I think this is the cool part of basically we'll start taking the air cleaner off and also start getting accessories taken off. It's going to be probably a couple of pretty good action-packed videos here of getting everything taken down and getting ready to pull it. Then of course underneath we have already been doing some work there. We got the flywheel inspection cover off for the transmission and related. I'd done some sealing up of the transmission. For the most part, it's not leaking anymore. There's a slight drip off the pan. So I ordered a different pan gasket as well too for the transmission and the selector seal on the transmission too, but we'll do that work eventually as well. So we can start taking this stuff off. I think, you know, this is the easy parts, and start getting at the Quadrajet and related. So that will have to come off. In addition to the distributor, we'll probably pull. What's kind of cool is you can see the top of the bell housing bolts there for the transmission, which is great. This is the factory wire harness, which is pretty intact. There's some weird configurable things here. I don't know what's going on, but of course the alternator, all this stuff will come off. The gas, I mean, it's been smelling like gas in the garage here since I pulled this thing in here. So I don't know if we've got, you know, here's, I mean, I'm sure it needs to be rebuilt. That's why I bought that rebuild kit for the Quadrajet too. So that'll be one of our other projects of rebuilding things, of many, right? And basically taking this apart. You got all the emission stuff we're gonna have to keep intact because we're California, right? So EGR, smog for air injection. And then we've got some other bits and bobs here. I was kind of looking at the Haynes manual. Man, these are like really brittle. This goes into the air cleaner as well too. I have no idea what some of these things do. So we're gonna be learning together on a lot of these things and what they do. This looks like some kind of a choke riser. Looks like I just unplugged this, but tons of vacuum lines, guys. And then there's like this valve here. Same with this. This similar setup to the 85 Camaro. And then here's our emissions canister as well, evap canister. So, but really, I mean, not too bad, but there is just a lot of unknown. This must go to the interior. I would assume this is probably for the heater controls. And I was looking down here and there was some goofy wiring here that's been patched up. So this goes to the distributor and related. So now that we can start seeing all this stuff, it's kind of cool to get in it. The air conditioning compressor and this receiver dryer, which is like ancient history. It's just not even bolted in. It's just kind of sitting here. God, I would assume that this thing probably doesn't have Freon in it, but I think what we'll end up doing is definitely just disconnect it and probably wire it up to the quarter panel or something just to keep it out of our way, and then take all the bracketry off. And then of course, since there is no coolant really, other than in the reservoir, the fan shroud will come out. We'll take the radiator out. We'll take off the hoses and related. And you can also see pretty good angle at the steering box. The guy who I bought it from put a clear fuel filter down there, so I don't think that's the best of places. I don't know, but we'll definitely inspect some of that work. Any place that there's rubber hoses and related, like this thing's rock solid, we're going to be replacing and upgrading. Here's this, looks like that's sticky too. This is like the set off valve. So okay, well, let's start taking things apart and getting it stripped. Okay guys, I figured I'd take a break here and show you guys some progress. I've got the alternator off, the smog pump off, I got the air conditioner compressor disconnected. The shroud is pretty much loose along with the radiator. Got the upper hose off, and I also just took off the lower hose. There was still quite a lot of water or coolant in there, and then I just PB blasted the trans cooler lines as well. Lots of bracketry and all this. This thing's pretty heavy. I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up taking it out of the way. It's just too big and massive to be in the picture here. There's a lot of bracketry. I think this is that air connector thing for the smog, which I'm starting to uncover. There's a bunch of other brackets on top of the water pump, and you can see how massive amount of pulley is going on there. So, but I'm starting to get a general idea of what's going on, and especially with the power steering pump, I haven't taken that off yet either. I will probably knock that out of the way. I got kind of a pile of parts building up on the floor. The previous owner actually put brand new reservoir and windshield washer reservoirs in, so that was nice of him. And yeah, I think this is the thing. My Cyclops is almost out of power too, but we'll start charging that up. So let's keep moving and making progress. The goal is to try to get this whole front end of the motor all accessory free, and then we'll start moving on to like the carburetor and related. So there we go. And the wife and child are off to Starbucks. It looks like she's having a time with the bug getting it started. So, all right. Okay guys, radiator is out with the radiator fan and shroud off. So we're going to keep going. I'm going to pull off power steering next, and that thing is just atrociously covered with all kinds of caked on grease and oil. But I've been blasting everything with PB Blaster. So yeah, we're making great progress. Well, too, I already took off the first one, which was the smog. There's a pulley off the front here, and then this next one is the power steering, and then this other one here is the alternator. Yeah, we got the pulleys in line, and this long bad boy is the AC, and it's a little chewed up, so we'll be putting new belts on this thing. Obviously, either way, we're not planning to do this job again. That gives us more room to get the rest of these brackets off and take out the water pump bolts and related. So, oh my gosh, these are definitely in there. Okay, that one came out easy. The other one I'm concerned about, because this goes in the back of a casting. So we might have to be a little more judicious with the PB Blaster on that one. So I feel like it's going to strip. Let's see if we can bust off some of this stuff from the behind it. That does not feel good, guys. Huh. I got a feeling that that's gonna strip out. Yeah, knuckle buster here shortly. Do I dare put the impact on it? Let's give it a try. Okay, that's what I thought. She broke, so that's a bummer. So we're gonna have to drill that out. But I'm sure there's gonna be some more of that. This is not coming off easy, guys. You guys are probably trying to see and can't see around my shoulder, but this is gonna come off here really quick. I've seen a lot of things on YouTube about that water pump and timing cover assembly being a problem, so I wasn't surprised, I guess, running into some of the issues there. Well, that'll stay out of the way nicely. Okay, so now we got a little bit more leverage here to get at this. Get the right tool for the job. There we go. Got it, guys. Boy, is that thing all gunked up. Came off, but I can only imagine there's going to be all kinds of fun taking that water pump off. Not to mention We got a broken stud in this one. So, but hey, we got it off. Now I can see the main, and this is actually one of the engine hooks here, and I believe there's one kitty corner on the back. So we got a bracket here we can take off too. The question is do we take it off here or do we take it off when it's on the engine stand? So, alright, we got her. Okay guys, we got the front teardown complete, less some more brackets. I still got to take this bracket off. I decided to take the AC off. I tested it through there's no pressure or freon in that. That's probably long gone. You can see that on the pile of stuff. That thing is a tank compared to modern day AC compressors. And I also disconnected the fuel pump, which was definitely leaking, and that was the cause of my gas smells. This is kind of a surprise too. Whoever put this stuff on, this is not certified fuel hose. It's all ballooned out and spongy, which is not good. So if you're ever going to replace fuel line, guys, make sure you're using fuel hose, and it says fuel hose on the side of it. This is, you can just see how this stuff is ballooned up and it's all rubbery. So not good, but that's okay. We're going to be fixing all that up anyways, along with probably replacing that fuel pump. There's the hard line going all the way up to the Quadrajet. And yeah, I think the next phase here after this is I will start taking the carburetor off, doing the distributor. But I think we're going to close this video out for now, guys, as it's been an adventure already, right, Junior? My hands are just about black, and I've been working on this thing for quite a bit now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and stay tuned to the next video as we'll start taking out the lower part of the motor and disconnecting the exhaust, the trans, all that kind of stuff, getting ready to pull it up. So, all right, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace.